guys, welcome to Monday Crafternoons virtual edition number 3, probably. Today we're making these cute little styrofoam owls. They're super adorable. They can, I know the angle isn't good, but they sit real nice and they're just really cute. You don't need a lot for it, just scissors, felts, and hot glue, and then the googly eyes. So we're gonna get started. You take your styrofoam ball and first you just press it down on the table a little hard. You just want to get like a little bit flat on the bottom, just so he sits a little nicer. All right, so it doesn't roll away, so that's good. Then you're gonna take your template and you're gonna cut out the pieces. They're numbered, and so we'll go over what each piece is. Then grab a color of felt. This is gonna be like the front, like breast of the bird color. So I'm gonna go with this cute pink. And you can take a pen or pencil and trace out the pattern. It takes number 3. Number 3 is the feathers. And you can trace it and then cut it out. I kind of get a feel for the shape and then I just cut it out myself. They don't have to be perfect. We can hide imperfections later. So go ahead and get all those cut out. Okay, so once you get all those cut out, you should have about 20. You might not need that many, but so you're gonna, once your ball's sitting pretty flat, you wanna go not quite halfway around the side, a little less, towards the bottom, and we're gonna start gluing them on and work from bottom to top. And then just put a little glue just on like the top half. And then just glue them right next to each other. We're going to overlap in rows. So you just need to go kind of side by side. And remember, a little less than halfway. So mine's probably going to stop right about here. Try to keep them as even as possible. And then just glue them in a line. If one of your feathers isn't that perfect, just put the more imperfect end near the top, because it'll be covered by the next row. And if you make a mistake, they're pretty easy to just pull up and then move over. And then when you start your next layer, just put it in the little gaps in the middle. like that. So about halfway down. And go through. Now that you have the rest of them cut out, you can go around and just start gluing them on the same way we did the stuff on the front. Just start a little lower and work your way up. Don't have to go all the way to the top, but mostly to the top. So stop about maybe an inch, inch and a half down, and glue away. Remember that we go next to each other and then we overlap on the next row. So it's going to take about 30 to 40 feathers for the back side. As you can see, I ran out of one color, so I just used another color, and it came out really cool, and it just makes it look more realistic because feathers in nature are all different colors. So now that we're done with all our feathers, we're going to set aside our styrofoam ball for a minute and work on our eyes. So number one is like the back part of the eyes, and it's super huge, and I just don't think that huge shape fits well for our owls. So I just use shape 2, and I actually even go a little smaller than shape 2 when I cut out the back set of eyes. So you can just cut out shape 2 in your fabric. And then I'll trim it a little. And then I size it up with my owl to see how it fits. I still think that's a little big. So I'm gonna trim it down a little more here. I think that's about right. And then you're gonna grab, you can either use the same color, I'm gonna use a different color, and do it just a little smaller than the one you just did. So I'm gonna use the size I have and use that to cut it out. And now I'm just gonna cut it a little smaller. Try to trim it. Make sure that it's even and rounded. Now you're going to glue your smaller one onto your bigger one. I just do a dab here and a dab there of glue. Press that down. And then you can take your googly eyes, a little dot of glue on the back, and set those down. set that off to the side, and you're gonna cut out your ears, which is piece 4. You're gonna use the brown fabric for that, and they're just little triangles basically. Now, for your ears, once you get them cut into triangles, you're just going to take a dab of glue and do it in the middle right here, and then pinch it just in that spot, just right there, so it kind of curls like a little ear, like a little owl ear. And then you're going to do that to both of them. Alright, you grab your styrofoam ball owl again, and you kind of gotta line up where the face is going to be. So my eyes are going to be here, and so then my ears would go here, and we'll glue down that ear, just a dab of glue, and then the ear. Now, for your ears, once you get them cut into triangles, you're just going to take a dab of glue and do it in the middle right here, and then pinch it just in that spot, just right there, so it kind of curls like a little ear, like a little owl ear. And then you're going to do that to both of them. Alright, you grab your styrofoam ball owl again, and you kind of gotta line up where the face is going to be. So my eyes are going to be here, and so then my ears would go here, and we'll glue down that ear, just a dab of glue, and then the ear. You can angle it however you want. Some people like them a little angled so you can see a little bend. Some people don't. And then line it up again. Then my other ear would go right here. Just a little dab of glue. Don't burn yourself. I've done it like 3 times so far. It's not fun. You can bend them. They'll kind of hold. They'll kind of hold. And there. Now that your ears are on, you can glue on your eyes. You want them to overlap your ears just like a little bit at the top, just to kind of seal them in. And I need more glue. And don't forget your nose. Don't do the bottom until you do your nose. So you're just gonna take your brown fabric and cut a little feather out like we did earlier. And that feather's gonna be his nose. So just a little dab of glue, and that goes a little bit under the eyes, about halfway. There's his beak. A little lopsided, but that's okay. So just make sure it's all glued down good in here. Nothing's poking up. I sometimes just add a little hot glue just to kind of prop up the ear a little bit. Just a dab of hot glue under there to kind of prop it up. And you can make sure it stays down. Okay, we are nearing the home stretch. You might be a little rolly, it's okay, we're gonna fix that soon. Dab up this excess glue there. Alrighty. So now we gotta do his head cover. So you're just gonna take number 5 and then cut it out of your fabric. I'm gonna use this purple. It might look good, it might look like a hodgepodge. We're gonna see. Number 5 is gonna be a little big, but we're gonna trim it down in a minute. So this is just gonna, we're gonna space it out. It needs to be a little more narrow. So we're just gonna cut out a piece of the pie right there. It's okay if they overlap the eyes a little bit. I like mine to. Just a little, just so we can kind of make it look a little more hooded. Alright, so we're going to just do a dab between the eyes there and hold that down so it stays. And hold it down, make sure it dries where you want it to dry. we're just gonna fold it down and over. And we can, before we finish gluing, we can kind of round it off so it doesn't look quite as awkward shaped. Round it off there. Yeah, just like that. Round off. There we go. Glue the rest of it down there. Perk up our ears a little. Okay, now it's time to start cleaning him up, like all the spots that you may have missed, stuff like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the first couple rows and just glue these down a little more. Glue the feathers down a little more so they cover just the white bits. I don't glue them down all the way because I want them to still be a little three-dimensional curl to the edges, but just enough to go down and cover the styrofoam. Alright, now that you've kind of sealed down the rest of your feathers, you can focus on the bottom, which is pretty blank right now. So first, we're going to do another row of feathers. Just take whatever leftovers you have, like they don't have to look nice, no one's going to see them, and just tuck them under that last little row. That's why we didn't seal the bottom row yet. We're just going to tuck them under and glue them down. It's okay if you still have a little white space at the end of this, because we got one more thing to put on. Okay, now that that's done, it's still a little messy on the bottom, but that's okay. This is what we can work with. So what we're going to do is just take our last bit of brown felt and make a square, a rectangle, whatever you can work with. And then you're gonna round off the back and do a little indent, and there's some feet. So you're just gonna pop some glue onto the bottom here and stick it down to kind of balance your owl out. This will kind of give them a resting place to land on. There we go. Might be a little messy with like glue strands. You can pick them off, or you can take a lint roller and just lint roll it, and it'll clean up super nice. And that's how you make a styrofoam owl. Wasn't that a hoot?